On the fourth night of the war, we watched as Israeli artillery launched a huge attack on Gaza. Israel later said it was a deception to make Hamas think an invasion was coming. The effect here in Beit Lahia was death and displacement. There were no telephone warnings here. Nasser Abu Faris tells me about the 4 children he lost that evening. They died just a few short steps away, where they'd gathered with the family on the first day of Eid. Now there are just reminders here of lives ended in their teens and 20s.
I saw them. I was overwhelmed. I fell down. I woke up 15 minutes later. I asked what had happened. They said nothing. I went back in and saw the bodies again. Not bodies, just pieces, all over this area.
Incredibly, there were also 2 survivors, a 13-year-old girl and her 8-month-old cousin. Abdul Rahman's father was first told he was dead, then that he'd been transferred to the main hospital in Gaza City.
When I found him, he was covered in blood. He was sitting in ICU for 5 hours. There was one fragment in his head. It was serious injury, and there was lots of shrapnel all over his body.
But others were killed in separate blasts. This is 2 doors down from Abdul Rahman's house, a 45-year-old woman killed on her stairway. We've been seeing mourning tents like this one being set up pretty much everywhere we go around Gaza. Usually they are outside a specific home, a specific family. This one is for an entire neighborhood. The fake invasion was designed to send Hamas and other fighters into tunnels and defensive positions, only to be hit by artillery and airstrikes of massive, concentrated power. A military spokesman told me dozens were believed to be killed. From a distance, the landscape around Beit Lahia does contain what could be new damage. We could only, though, see from a distance. Hamas does not allow the open filming of military installations, still less damaged ones. In Beit Lahia, Nasser Abu Faris insists there was no military target anywhere near his devastated street. Across the street, I asked Abdul Rahman's father what he now hopes for his son's life. Peace and safety, he says, as for all children. Harry Fawcett, Al Jazeera, Northern Gaza.
Well, meanwhile, both of the border crossings between Israel and Gaza have been closed. Checkpoints were briefly opened on Friday, allowing foreign journalists to enter the Strip. Israel has also closed access to Gaza from the sea. The UN has urged greater access to the Strip, and the crossings are key to the delivery of much-needed medical supplies, food and fuel. Safwat Al-Kalout is in Gaza and says Israel has given no clear explanation for the closures.
This is Gaza. Normally with the Israelis, they don't give specific reasons except for security reasons. Nobody understands what are the security reasons because normally the Israelis, they don't give explanation. That's why most of the time Gaza has been, the crossings of Gaza has been closed for several years. And this opened also the discussion of the issue of Gaza. Gaza is considered the biggest open-air prison in the world. It's controlled by 3 crossings, 2 controlled by Israel, 1 for personnel, 1 for goods, and the 3rd one controlled by Egypt. Most of the time is closed for security reasons because of the safety or the instability in the Sinai. So Gaza has been under emergency basis. Most of the, let's say, the food or the aid or even for the industry comes through Gaza under specific, very restricted measures controlled by the Israelis. Still, there is no indication for longer term or serious opening for the crossing. The Sea of Gaza is still closed. 3,000 fishermen are not allowed to go into the sea and resume the fishing. Also, still, the roads of Gaza are still closed. The municipality is trying to fix as much as they could to solve the problem of the traffic jam.